Yeezy episode number 16, I believe it is. I think we made it.
God.
Yeah. And so yeah, off the top, first off, check us out on Facebook, Two Beers. You can go to Two Beers Podcast on Instagram. Keep liking the page. If you want to hear us talk about anything, let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hear it. And yeah, our first guest appearance. The first time the round table is going to be with 5 members. We've alluded to him before. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Matt Allen, also known as Conspiracy. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Matt. Thank you for having me.
Very nice. So we're going to kick things off with...
did you even introduce this guy? Oh wait, we did.
Where were you?
Where were you?
Oh my God.
Speaking of getting out of hand.
Another one! What's in this thing?
Take it easy, Julius.
A2, Ryan? I don't know why the guy with the water's chirping me. Down over there.
That's he's sharp enough to.
It's, yeah, time for our first segment. It's the news about booze.
Booze news!
There it is. So this came about in Iowa. You know what's funny is Ronan does that bit every week, and he just left you to hang out to dry. He always chimes in with booze news.
Fucking Waterboy.
He's got Waterboy. That's pretty good.
Adam Sandler.
But the reason this week's booze news, we're going to go to the state of Iowa, which has a new thing where they want to make or decriminalize public intoxication. So public intoxication is actually a big problem down there. 10,662 cases were reported by June 30th, 2015. Most of them leading to people having a criminal record. So there's no drunk tank in Iowa, so they want to decriminalize it. The fine is, I think it's $135, give or take. And so, I guess thoughts, I mean, because we don't have that here in Canada, because we have the drunk tank and you don't go on a criminal record. The fine is $65. Thoughts? Should they decriminalize it?
Well, what counts as public drunkenness? I mean...
Just if you're over the legal limit intoxication. So
really?
Causing a scene, if you're walking in public, open container. Pretty much, the line is great. Like, if you're intoxicated and you're in public, you can be charged.
I think the only reason you should be charged is if you're putting other people in danger or putting yourself in grave danger. You know, if you you might trip over, don't charge.
Yeah, that happens.
But if it's like, hey, there's a bridge and you might have to cross it, and
you're walking between the lines of the street.
You're kind of crossing the highway.
Yeah,
that's a lot of cases.
Yeah,
like
it is a lot of cases.
That's a lot of cases, and that's a lot of legal paperwork.
What does it take to get busted for public intox? Like, you have to be quite intoxicated to actually get...
Yeah.
For here, anyway. I don't know how it is in Iowa.
But I mean, do they have cops scoping it out and scouting people to see okay, he just came out of a bar, let's go get him and meet our quota?
No, it requires manpower. You have to have certain people watching, and you have...
Right, but I mean, if they're actually watching these people get out of the bar and walk home, they're really intoxicated in public.
Cheers
that technically they could...
Yeah, you're in
if
favor?
You have that many people going into jail for this, it's not worth it. Make them pay. That's it.
I decriminalize it.
It should be a public health thing as opposed to a criminal thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, what if you're trying to seize the day out on your lawn?
Exactly.
Yeah, no one...
You're in public.
Nice little Wednesday.
This is being filmed
at
2:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. So we're definitely not against public intoxication, but it should definitely be criminalized. So that is the news that you can drink.
The booze news.
So, booze news. On to actually drinking, except for Ronan. We're going to dive into our favorite segment. It's Cheers or Jeers. And so first up, we talked about the question off the top. It's a big question on a lot of people's minds. Is Kanye West losing his mind? Is it gone? Why don't we start with you on this one, Kyle?
My God. Of all the people to start with.
If anybody knows
no,
a 1 in 4 chance that I was looking.
Yeah, 5 now. 1 in 5.
Yeah.
I would...
Way to math.
I would say no. I would say he's most certainly not losing his mind. He may be losing his money, though, which is a big thing. But really, who cares? Either way, it's probably about publicity, and he's doing that quite well. Is he losing his mind? No, and I cheers the fact that we're talking about him right now.
It's sad.
What do you think, Brad?
This guy is very strategic. All right, this guy's not losing his mind.
He's a master of strategery.
Yeah, he's married to the best strategic tabloid artist there is in Kim Kardashian, STA.
Quite right.
I don't know. Have you seen her porn? It's pretty lame.
Oh,
Like,
Making a splash on the
enthusiastic.
Now
She might as well be
that's-
like looking at her nails as she's fucking.
She got famous from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything she
manipulated
does,
into an
everything she
entire
does is
career.
about getting popularity out of it.
true.
So he's going, how do I stay relevant? I'm going to look at my wife, what she's doing. I'm going to say outlandish things.
I think he knew that before meeting Kim, though.
Pretty
Or
sure
getting
he
involved.
had an idea.
Before it was about the music. Now it's like I'm going to say dumb shit and
Yeah.
cut Taylor Swift off while she's trying
Again.
to accept an award. I don't know. I feel it's all like a big play, and I feel like it's his way of just gaining popularity and staying relevant in the media.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you
So
got
you're cheersing Kanye. You're cheersing Kanye.
Is
That's
he?
a cheers.
Is it cheersing losing his? I'm not saying he's losing his mind.
No, you're cheersing him. You're pro Kanye.
Okay,
So he's
I'm
not
pro
losing his
Kanye.
mind.
Pro Kanye.
He's not losing his mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and disagree there, just because. I mean, one of the tweets he was like, you know, he was trying to like blast Zuckerberg to like pay him money to invest in him, and he's
On
like,
a platform that wasn't created by Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
right,
I did it on Twitter.
and he basically said like, oh, you think like all this money that they like use to create schools in Africa is gonna help the country? And it's like, country? Like really, Kanye? Like country? Africa is a continent, buddy. I mean, that's just a big. That's just a big like matzo ball hanging there, you know. Like, I don't know.
So
I
you're
mean,
cheers? You're cheersing?
I'm totally jeersing him. I think he's an idiot for doing.
You think he's
that
losing
shit.
his mind?
I don't think he's losing his mind. I just think
He's going a little downhill.
yeah, he's just getting carried away. Like I don't know.
Okay. Waterboy?
Hey, Waterboy.
Big Daddy Water.
I think he's been flamboyant for a long time, and I think these are more signs of his flamboyancy. Life of Pablo, love
Yeah.
the album. Kanye, you're still killing it, man. The beats are tight. He's got
definitely
really
gonna
good
get-
guest
definitely
appearances. the lyrics are a little step down than the last couple of albums. Still love the album though. Still think it's great. He has no filter. He's never had a filter. You know.
It's not really surprising.
Yeah, so all this stuff isn't really surprising. I don't think he's losing his mind. Maybe he's, you know, getting further degraded into where he was, you know, from where he was before. But I think he's pretty much the same Kanye he's ever been. So I'll cheers Kanye, man. New album's dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to join in with the cheers. What's up?
Bigger question is this guy losing his mind?
That is
Oh,
a question.
yeah.
Waterboy over here.
Yikes.
People on the cast are talking.
Fine quality H2O.
People are starting to murmur.
Yeah. Rumors.
Hey.
2 beers rumors.
Careful what you wish
So
for.
I'll join in on the cheers because I agree with all those points. I'm still a big fan of Kanye, so I think he knows what he's doing. He's got this down. His musical game is tight. So
So you can all cheers then. I'm
So
not
you'll
cheering.
get
I'm
that
not
one.
cheersing
You gotta
that.
get-
I'm not cheersing that.
So we can definitely go with that.
It's a four-way
And
cheers.
Fuck Kanye.
We ran.
yeah,
we
and
ran
so I mean, yeah, we talked about his music, his innovation. YouTube is getting on that train. So you've heard of Netflix and Chill? Pretty soon, could it be YouTube and Chill? YouTube Red is coming out with a new service that's going to basically cost $9.95 a month, and it's going to take YouTube stars and basically produce documentaries and what else was it? Like just docs and like
Web
shows,
series.
Web series. So yeah, what do you think? Cheers or jeers for YouTube basically taking their stars who posted content for free and then monetizing it? Is this going to be something new in the form of entertainment? Why don't we start with you, Conspiracy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I mean, the whole monetization thing, like YouTube has a lot of different things where they can censor people or stop them from getting monetization if it's like politically incorrect or, you know, something that is a little too controversial. So, I mean, whatever. They're their own private company.
I
They
guess,
can
but
do-
the entertainment value. So from the entertainment aspect, is
I
this
wouldn't
viable?
pay for it. I wouldn't pay for it personally. But I mean, is it a good business idea? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if there's an audience for it.
What do you think, Brad?
I think you brought up a good point. Good, everybody's kind of moving towards this innovation of turning it into web series and documentaries. Like if we look at Vice
Yeah.
is kind of
Yeah.
taking journalism into a different direction. I think it's a good outlet for. I don't think I'll pay for it, but I think it's another way of, providing content for people who are going to buy it. I think people will buy it.
Cool.
So.
There
That's
yeah,
fair.
definitely be an audience for it.
Ron?
Yeah, as a business model, I think it'll probably work. I mean, just the people who watch people play video games alone, like the PewDiePie stuff,
Yeah.
they'll make a killing off of those people.
Well, yeah, their goal is to if they can get 3% of their subscribers
Yeah.
to actually pay for this, they're gonna
Yeah.
get revenue into the billions.
Well,
yeah,
you guys
it's worth it for them for sure. But same with you guys. Am I going to pay for it? Not a chance.
Yeah.
This might actually let like more so your generation. You're a little bit younger than us, but like people like nowadays grow up watching YouTube, right? Like that's what they do, right? That's where they get their entertainment. They're not watching like movies or docs, kind of like they have that. You have any opinion on that?
I still watch movies and docs.
I know you do.
I do the Netflix and chill, and technically I don't pay for Netflix, but I have an older brother who pays for Netflix, and I like to watch it and chill.
You're like 16 or 17 years old, right?
I am. 15 and a half.
baby.
Just become eligible for my first part-time job. So
You just got your G1, right?
Tim Hortons lookout. But no, I mean, it's right. Would I pay for it to watch the people who are now on YouTube? Probably not. If they started developing content that was worthy for me to watch, like some of the stuff that is on Netflix or Show Me, for that fact, because Show Me's got some great content, then yeah, I think I would probably pay for it and I would use it. But it's not at that point for me yet. I think it can be, though. I think it has huge potential.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow suit with the Cheers. It's definitely like got potential, and I think that it's going to lend itself to a lot of different new ways to tell stories, citizen journalism, all that sort of stuff. Can now be things that are uploaded to YouTube that you can now put some money into it and actually format it. So, yeah, cheers. YouTube Red. We'll see what happens in the future for that. I'll cheers.
All right.
That's a nice 5-way cheers there.
Look at that. Yeah.
So,
Look at that, eh?
All together.
Good old buddy.
Agreement. I didn't watch it, but next up on Cheers or Jeers is the Grammy Awards. Kyle, why don't we start with you?
I also didn't watch it.
It's nice to flash.
But yeah, sure. I'll cheers it. I don't know.
Highlights Kendrick's, I guess, were Kendrick's performances and
Probably
Taylor Swift kind of giving the throwing shade, as CBC put it, back at Kanye West.
I like Kendrick Lamar. I saw his performance on YouTube. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did see the highlights. The T Swift throwing shade, I guess as it's now called, didn't like it. I get it, and she's trying to support that, other people and stuff, but in the end, it was about her, and it was about herself, and I don't know, I'm making it a little bit personal just because I don't like Taylor Swift. I like her music. I think it's good, and there's a reason why she's so big. I just don't like her personally, and that's what Cheers or Jeers is. It's a personal thing. I'm gonna go Jeers.
Another Kyle Weisgale making a topic about himself. Brought to you by 2 beers. You're welcome.
Jesus notes.
I think she's super hot. I mean, I'm not too sure about her haircut.
What do you think, Conspiracy? Grammys? Do you watch that stuff?
I did it. I didn't watch. I mean, I did see Kendrick Lamar's performance, which I thought
liked
was
it? Yeah,
really
it's good.
good. Yeah,
Nice.
and just like how he used the whole stage and like made it about like how the history of Black people being oppressed and like this sort of liberation kind of theme, which was very, very powerful.
Right on.
But you know, the Grammys have been doing really bad. Like this is one of the worst viewership like ratings in years for the Grammys. So maybe they need to rethink their whole strategy there.
Yeah, it's possible to.
Did Adele perform?
She did.
Her
She
audio.
had microphone issues.
Yeah, the audio was cut down.
man.
That's why I didn't do
She's
well.
great.
Adele's my fave.
I love Adele, man. She writes.
She could really,
And she writes her
could
own
bring
songs.
the Grammys up a little
She
bit.
could.
Well, yeah. I mean, talk about original content. Fuck, like Beyonce doesn't write any of her shit. She's got like 15 writers for her music. You know, not to knock Beyonce, but I'm just saying.
Queen Bee.
Grammys.
consensus?
Yeah, obviously Kendrick Lamar's performance was incredible. As Matt was saying, I really like the incarceration of Black people thing to start it off.
Right.
More people need to be talking about that on a grand stage for sure. I thought Gaga was terrible in the Bowie tribute. Like she looked like a bad Elvis impersonator. She was
really?
doing like down to the curled lip.
Oh
I'm thinking
no!
like, what on earth are you doing? Like a leaving Las
man.
Vegas jumpsuit, like.
I'm glad
just-
I missed it.
Yeah, just terrible. There was a really good B.B. King tribute.
that sounds nice.
A couple people, Gary Clark Jr., this other white guy I'd never heard of who was incredible, and Bonnie Raitt did a cover of Trill Is Gone that was really, really good.
Nice.
A couple other decent acts. Yeah, Adele wasn't that great. Bieber looked terrible. Sweeney's boy looked terrible.
Sweeney's boy.
Right.
Just putting on some really bad facial hair.
Yeah.
Like, check the tape.
Look, I can grow it.
Called him your boy.
Is
I have.
You have.
Is Bieber a Ryanite?
This guy's too sober. No, I don't like this guy.
Terrible
He
facial
knows
hair.
too many
and
facts.
He did these weird like renditions of his songs that weren't the pop music renditions. Sounded horrible.
Oh, really?
Bad dance moves.
Even down to the
over place.
dance moves.
Sweetie boy, you
he's
need
a
to have a
meme
chat with
sensation
boy.
now.
Is where I'm getting
He's
at.
all on the memes now
But-
because of that.
oh, yeah.
Where does this guy get off?
But I
Yes.
mean, what?
Are we gonna let this slide?
Would
it's
you
happening.
attribute this to the
So-
whole like lower ratings thing?
Cheers
Like,
as a whole, but there are parts of it I'd watch again.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll round it off. I'm cheersing.
Cheers, I guess, based off of what they said. I didn't watch it, but I'll cheers this guy.
Yeah, all right.
I'll cheers.
I'll
cheers.
cheers
Get
opposition.
Get
Stomp
out of
opposition.
here. Kendrick Lamar, I will
Okay.
cheers, but that's
Right on.
about it.
That's fair. Kyle, what do you?
I'm
what do you rest?
cheersing.
Cheersing. All right, I'm cheersing.
Gonna cheers.
We're
for
left
Yeah,
out
there it
in
is.
the cold.
Yeah, here, I'll cheers you.
So
Lamar.
No one else?
no, I
cheers?
cheers, man. I didn't watch the great.
You cheers,
I
though?
didn't watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cheers.
yeah. You ended it. You
I don't
cheered,
even
bro.
know why I waited for
No,
this guy.
yeah. We're back on that. So yeah, diving into something a little more serious in terms of do with technology and setting precedents. Apple actually, I was shocked by this. They refused to aid the FBI in their investigation in the San Bernardino shooters that took place. And so one of the shooters, his name was Saeed Rizwan Farouk. His phone, he had an Apple phone, and the FBI was trying to unlock it and asked for Apple's assistance, to which Apple CEO Tim Cook said, no, this will set a precedent. We can't do this. We have privacy rules that we need to maintain, which is a pretty staunch stance considering the situation and considering that it's the FBI asking for this info, to see a tech company really stand up like that for privacy. Cheers or jeers? Conspiracy? I know this one probably.
Yeah,
plays to
you
your
might be
house.
surprised. I'm not too sure about this. I think if if there's enough evidence and they can present it in a court that we have probable cause to investigate this person's phone or emails or whatever, I think maybe it should be allowed. As long as it's not in like some kind of secret court, right? Like, I mean, often with the whole NSA thing is that they would have these secret courts, the FISA courts, where they would just, there'd be no real, it's just a rubber stamp. Like, they would just let them interrogate anything and check out their emails or their phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it was like an open court and they actually had probable cause to investigate this guy's phone, then I think they should have been able to do it. And it's not like Google hasn't done this in the past. Like, I mean, come on. Glenn Greenwald.
So you're more like basically like this is kind of a ploy by Apple. Like tech companies will.
Yeah, I mean,
Publicity.
whether it's Microsoft or Google or Apple, like all of them have sort of participated in the whole NSA wiretapping.
So where do you
thing.
stand on this stance?
I think as far as this goes, I think if they can find enough evidence and get a warrant, like in a court of law, to say, look, we have probable cause to investigate this guy's email or this guy's phone, they should allow that. But if they don't have the evidence, then fuck off.
That was an emphatic fuck off. The first time on 2 beers. What do you think, Ronan?
Yeah, I mean, Matt's actually made some good points. I was originally on the good for Tim Cook angle because, I'm all for privacy. I don't want people digging into my sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's from a personal standpoint. But Matt raises some good issues. If there was actual probable cause and it is in a real court, then maybe they do have a point. But at the same time, I still think there should be that level of privacy. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to set it that high, because even in a real court, there can still be some shady things happening. Just because it's out in the open doesn't mean there isn't some back dealings going on.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't ensure transparency.
Yeah, I'm going to cheers Tim Cook on this one.
Okay.
Because as a journalist, who maybe we don't want to share our notes and maybe give up a witness or something like that. I think we should be able to stick to our guns, and hey, maybe Apple should be able to stick to their guns.
Is this
too.
guy a U.S.
Totally fair
citizen,
point.
though? Is this guy a U.S. citizen or...
I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think
sure.
he is. They lived there for a while. They were married. They just had a kid. I don't know his citizenship. I know he immigrated, but I don't know if he was.
But are they referring to, like, U.S. law? Or...
Well, it's privacy. Like they're not like citing privacy. They're citing they're not debating whether or not he was a citizen or not. He had their product, and so the FBI should not be able to go into their product.
Okay.
What do you think, Ryan? You got some giggles going? A lot of tension inside.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I kind of agree with this water boy over here.
Whoa! Shocking!
Yeah.
Wow!
H2O.
Big
I
development.
do believe in a sense of privacy, because you never know later down the road. What if they're going, "Oh, it worked here. Let's just try it again."
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then
precedent.
it keeps building, and then they
Yeah.
go, "Oh, well, now it's just like nobody has privacy anymore."
Right,
And
right.
they just dive into your phone whenever they want.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to agree.
It's
with
a pinprick in the dam kind of a situation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to follow suit. I'm gonna have to go cheers as well, just because like what is probable cause? Like when you establish that, then you're setting yourself up for a whole bunch of things down the line, as you guys said. So yeah, I'll give the nod to Tim Cook on this one. And so we're gonna skip Kyle for this segment because there's something that you may see off camera. He blatantly backed out, so he doesn't get to weigh in. So
I would like
let's
to chime
cheers,
in.
fellas.
Cheers.
Everyone except Kyle.
Cheers.
Everyone except Kyle.
That's not fair.
All right, bring it on. You've earned it.
I will not be cheersing this.
Yeah.
I've
This guy just did though.
done something that is actually extremely democratic, which was listen to all of the opinions of my peers and then disagree.
Not at all.
I'm going to go with cheers because if you're accused of something so big, or if I was accused of being a killer, I'm not worried about someone accessing my phone because why should they? They have no reason to because there's no probable cause that I'm a murderer or I'm anything that I'm not.
But there's a line there. But yes,
There is a line, yes, but I think if it's going to let them, whether he's, let's say it was like a very black and white case, whether he's innocent or not, if they can access his phone and it will lead to the truth, then what is there to worry about? I think that...
Well, yeah, but as long as it's access in open court, right, where they can actually present evidence that there is reason to...
Sure, I agree with that,
I mean,
but
show me some text messages that implicate this guy, right? If they have some kind of evidence, whether it's phone messages, voicemails, text messages, whatever, that can kind of like allude to terrorist activity or whatever, then I think that should be presented in a public, like an open court. But none of these FISA courts, like, FISA just rubber stamps all their, invasive practices of like checking people's emails and phones and shit.
Okay.
And that's
that's
definitely, I agree with you guys in that regard.
And so for this particular thing, they want Apple to disable their encrypting service, so basically they can crack the password. They want Apple to unlock.
But what if they're
that,
too
so
close to the
password.
case as it is?
So
What if they're going, I know that this person did it, let's just crack it and see
or,
where that goes.
Or if they're like, oh, well, they use encrypting technology and
Fair
therefore
point.
that's
Yeah,
that's probable cause. Like, what counts as probable cause is what you were saying, right?
it's
Like,
the sliding scale. So I think we agree with the exception of Kyle on that one. And all right, so it's good talk. So we're gonna switch into making a big tweet. Actually, Jeb Bush in the American Republican nomination race. Set out on Twitter. He tweeted 357 Magnum.
I believe that's the type of gun it was. Yeah.
Okay.
W?
357 Magnum
No,
that
Jeb.
said
Jeb.
dot Jeb Bush on the not the handle, but the what's that called? The barrel of the gun.
America.
Just tweeted out and said America. Cheers or jeers. Your
Cactus
potential
Jack.
future president tweeting a picture with a gun with his name on the barrel. What's up with you, Rat?
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even see it.
Well,
You got the description.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a
Use
visual
the-
picture of it?
Use
It's
your mind pictures.
Wow. Wow. That was
They're very limited
Can I
imagination.
do like a Kyle defer?
Defer? You doing a
I would
defer?
love a defer.
Yeah, Kyle.
Apparently those
defer?
are out of bounds, but I mean, I'd love one.
Oh, Willem defer.
I'll Willem defer.
Yeah.
No, just a gun. It says Gov Jeb Bush, and he tweeted it and said America. Do you think that's cool for like your
No.
potential future president?
No.
No.
Because they
Cheers.
should get rid of fucking guns anyway.
Oh, no.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Listen,
did I push
listen.
your belly button there?
Kyle,
I
I
don't
don't
think-
think you on this one, and then we'll come back to conspiracy.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm total cheers on this. I think it's a reach to get voters who are very gun ho, I guess, and I'm a total cheers. It's ridiculous. I don't actually think he feels that way of the whole America, but
America.
either way, he did it, and I
No
am
way.
a total cheers.
Okay. Ro, you brought the story up. What do you think?
I think it might actually be a clever ploy by Jeb Bush. He's trying to appeal to a certain voter base that has maybe been getting some has been leaning towards maybe a Ted Cruz or maybe leaning towards a Donald Trump. So I think it was somewhat strategic. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, you're
Very
so
strategic.
stupid. But obviously he's not catering to the Liberal Party here.
Right.
Everyone in the Liberal Party is going to think that's stupid, but maybe a certain percentage of the Democratic or the Republican Party is going to think that's what they're into, and so that might win him a couple votes.
A couple though, is that enough? Like, I mean, this guy
In
is
that
like,
race,
he's
it's-
desperate.
it's a-
he is
yeah.
dying.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
on his last. He's on his last leg, and he's trying to play
Falling to
to
pieces, one
He's
might
trying
say.
to play to that fucking that base there. But I mean, it just helps re-solidify this stereotype that America is, gun-toting,
Yeah.
cowboys, right? Like, I mean,
Wild West.
Yosemite Sam.
It's just
Right.
a bunch of demagoguery. That's what it is.
But you know what? To be fair, if I lived in the States, I mean, honest to God, I would want to have a gun. And if you look at all these mass shootings and fucking
Well,
crazy,
it depends where in the
but
States.
no,
If you live in New York,
that's
it's
what I'm
so
getting at.
different.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that if you actually look where all these mass shootings are, they're in places where they have the highest gun restrictions. So nobody else has got a gun. What the media doesn't tell you is that you can actually be in a place where everybody's got a gun, and there's no mass shootings in those places because they know that everybody's got a gun.
And
right?
that's why we call them conspiracy.
I'm just saying,
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm happy to
I'm
live.
just joking. No,
I
it's
know,
a
I
fair
know.
point.
I'm happy to
I'm
live.
making light of it, but it is a fair point.
I'm happy to live in Canada where we don't need a gun, but if I lived in the States, I might be more inclined to want a gun. Just because mass shootings don't happen in places where everybody has guns. Most mass shootings happen in places where the gun restriction is the highest and nobody's got a fucking gun. Right? So if you were gonna fucking attack a movie theater or whatever,
Well,
I would
it doesn't make
contest
sense to
that.
have gun restrictions in one state and no gun restrictions in the other state.
Right,
It's the big thing in
Right.
the United States.
yeah.
So yeah, I would contest that. I actually, I agree with Ronan on this. It's funny to see in this Republican nomination, like all the jokes, like with Trump and everything, and how his extreme statements have forced candidates' hands to go to extremes themselves. This is just that version of him. This is how he's playing to that base.
Yeah.
But
But
to protect their Second Amendment rights. So
He's doing it much better than Joe
I
Bush.
will. I mean, for whatever it's worth, he's playing with people. People are still voting with him. But I'm gonna go Jeers. So I'm gonna end that with a big Jeers. So
I agree. I think overall it's definitely a jeers.
Yeah.
okay, that's fair. So we got. Oh, is that a full Jeers?
Yeah.
I think so.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, cheers to the Jeers.
There it is.
Cheers.
To agreement.
There we go. Very rare, actually.
And I guess moving on to the big scientific discovery of last week, proving one of the principles in Einstein's general relativity theory, they discovered gravitational waves.
I have nothing to say on this.
Fair enough. Why don't we start with cheers or jeers?
I can't even make it.
Well, that's the
Cheers,
thing.
cheers.
Here's the thing. Why I put this in here is what does it mean to us who don't know anything about this and who are the common people. These are scientific people. They're spending $400 million, $500 million on these huge scientific experiments to prove a 100-year-old theory. But what's the practical value of this? None of the major news networks put anything down. Some of the people on my social media feed said maybe this will be time travel. Maybe this will be like huge leaps in aerospace engineering. Maybe we'll be able to do some nuclear fission or something, some sort of energy benefits. But I don't see any of that. It's a big celebration once it happens. But really, what are the practical points other than saying it's really cool that 1.3 billion years ago, two black holes collided and they made an explosion or whatever they want to call it, big enough to cause ripples that are still crossing through the Earth today.
I'm shocked that you're getting your news from your Facebook feed.
Who doesn't get their news from their Facebook feed?
He's just pissed off because he never got into strange science.
Oh, that could be it. that
And
actually
he doesn't
could be
learn
it.
about this on a weekly basis anymore. So
No, he doesn't.
he just learns about bad behaviors.
Remember the 1980s
Something,
movie
yeah.
Weird Science? That's all I remember.
No, but I'm gonna oppose.
How do you not remember that movie?
It's a good movie.
Tim.
I haven't seen it.
I'll say
Said
jeers.
you're gonna impose.
Yeah, I'm gonna oppose Ronan.
Who cares that theory?
Because
Who cares that discovery?
I'm gonna cheers that it got discovered because what it is, it's about expanding space. So you're able to see things that you weren't able to normally track. So this is about discovery. It's not gonna change your life tomorrow. It's not gonna impact you when you're going about your daily business. But this is exploration. And so
The final frontier.
No, this does have merit in terms of
These
they
are the
weren't
boys.
able to track black holes before, and so now they're going to be able to measure it. So they thought that this theory always existed, but they weren't able to prove it. But now they can actually see these waves. So that's going to lead to future discoveries. This is the evolution of science. You know what I mean? Like
That's pretty cool.
It is very cool, and it is a big deal. It's not going to be me at my going about my week or my month, but it is a big deal, and it does matter. So I'm going to say a huge cheers to proving a principle that we thought we couldn't prove for the last 100 years.
Was it that controversial though? I mean, or is
Not
this
controversial. We just couldn't
We
prove
just
it.
didn't know that they exist.
Yeah.
We didn't have physical evidence of them existing.
We thought that, but
Yeah.
now we have the evidence to back it.
Right, okay.
So the hypothesis was proved true.
So really, this is just like stroking some scientist's ego. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, not Einstein's ego. I mean, it's science, right? It's like Copernicus. I mean, go to Galileo. Like, it's science. Like, people used to think that the
Earth was flat.
Yeah, or
I
that we
agree
revolved
with
around
Tim
the sun.
on this. I see where Ronan's coming from why spend so much money on this when it's not going to
It
affect
is a lot of money.
the common man. It is a lot of money, but for no other reason than it's very cool to prove these things, and it's something that is big for exploration, and I totally do that. And
To science.
there you go. Yeah, to science.
We gotta overrun. We gotta hear from Ryan.
Oh,
by
you know
phone.
I'm gonna
that's-
cheers
that's
this. I'm
pretty
gonna go
much
with
it.
water. I think it's cool though, because like now I guess you know how strong the waves are, so how far you can travel in space, and you know how like the pull of each black hole, that kind of thing. I think it's pretty cool.
I don't know enough about it.
That's science.
That's science.
Two beer science.
Two beer
The
science.
hole of each black hole.
It is. There's a black hole at the center of each galaxy. Learn that in strange science.
There is.
What's up?
There is actually a black hole at the end. Yeah, strange science. This is strange science. Actually.
Strange
It's a
science.
great course.
It's a good
Fellas,
course.
I am in the
Wish
same
you
room.
all right. Cheers, everybody.
No,
Cheers.
stay down.
Cheers, buddy.
I have to take down.
Gatorade.
And wow, that was good.
No, it's not really a game of basketball anymore.
It's more about our boy Westbrook. Just
That guy was the most selfish human being I've ever seen. That should have been Kobe's MVP. Like they should have just dished.
Westbrook
him.
was not having it. he was
Westbrook
he was
was
not
not
that MVP.
I respect that.
Yeah.